Hey friends, Diane here. Mr. Keller talks about most Christians as not being content with the Lord's control. He says they are somewhat dissatisfied, always feeling that somehow the grass beyond the fence must be a little greener. These are carnal Christians. One might almost call them fence crawlers or half-Christians who want the best of both worlds. He then compares these believers with a sheep he used to own who he nicknamed Mrs. Gadabout. It was an ingrained habit of hers to go out from the group searching for something better than she had, in spite of his fields being lush and full of nutrition. He says often when she forced her way through some such spot in a fence or found a way around the end of the wire at low tide on the beaches, she would end up feeding on bare, brown, burned-up pasturage of a most inferior sort. But she never learned her lesson and continued to fence crawl time after time. And sadly, not only did she willingly choose that lower type of living for herself, but she taught it to her children and others too. Are we seeing the symbolism here? For those of us who belong to Christ, His way of living is what will bring us all the goodness of life. Things like peace that surpasses understanding, a joy that keeps us strong and healthy, physically and soulfully, and this amazing sense of righteousness that confirms in our heart, no matter what is going on around us, because Jesus is our Lord, everything is going to be all right. Yet when we push God away and try to feed on this lower worldly life, we end up malnourished, weak, and miserable. May we choose to not follow the footsteps of Mrs. Gadabout, but simply learn to stay with this Good Shepherd and trust Him to care for all our needs, especially our need to be transformed into His likeness, where we will not be in want. Only Jesus has the lush and good fields in which to feed upon. Let's choose to stay with our Good Shepherd.